So, obviously, you probably can't tell, but you can see like some spotting here and on my shirt and stuff. That's the reflection of the raindrops outside on the windows of my car. It is legitimately like a steady shower right now, and probably about 20 minutes ago, it was pouring down rain. But you can also see that it's bright and sunshiny through the windows as well. I mean, I've seen this type of rain before, but one, I totally wasn't expecting it because it was ridiculously hot today and sunny, and the forecast didn't call for any rain at all. But, that Mother Nature, she is ever full of surprises, we'll put it that way. And just on a mission to prove that the weathermen have no idea what they're actually talking about. I don't believe that. I believe that weathermen are very, very good at what they do, or what they try to do, but it's a business, an occupation in which you're never going to make everybody happy, because if you're wrong, people are going to be mad. If you're right, people are going to be mad. So, good luck to all the weathermen who try their best to do what they do and still end up with a day like this, where it's just essentially drenching everything with the sun just blaring down at the same time. It's refreshing, that's for sure, because, who doesn't like a nice little cool rain shower in the middle of a 95-degree day in September? The end of September, for that matter. My goodness, why is that necessary? I don't know. Let's talk about competitive eating, because that's what I really wanted to talk about this afternoon, not the weather. It just happened to be a thing that popped up. Competitive eating. I'm talking about, like, I don't know where my keys went. Oh, there they are. Hey. I thought about very, 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 very briefly joining the competitive eating circuit, in which, there's really one of two ways you can go with this. You can either be a competitive eater who tries to eat the most in a specific amount of time, or has to finish a set of items first. So you could either be given a 5-pound hamburger and have to finish it first, or you have 5 minutes to eat as many hot dogs as you can. Those are the two realms of competitive eating. Either one, actually, the finish the item first would probably be my strong point. And you'd think that the two are related. Like, if you can eat a 5-pound hamburger before anybody else, then you could probably eat more hot dogs than anybody else in a given amount of time. Not necessarily true, because your pace affects everything. Okay? If you've got 10 minutes to eat as many chicken wings as possible, versus try to eat 50 chicken wings first, I could dominate the field in eating 50 chicken wings first. But if I've got 10 minutes and I go all out, I'm going to slow down after about 3 of those minutes. Whereas somebody who started at a good pace may be able to go all 10 minutes at a steady rate and not have to stop at all. So there's, you gotta find the balance there. I'm excited about this. Can you tell? But I've entered a few eating contests in my day. All whatever 26 times 365 is. I'm not doing the math right now. It's Friday. It's Friday! Why am I doing math? It's after school hours, I should say. But there was a time we had a Super Bowl party, our youth group at church, when I was in high school, early in high school, before I started to slim down and then proceed to get fat again. That's beside the point. You don't have to be fat to be a good competitive eater. Let that be known. Not all fat people are good at eating, and not all good eaters are fat. Just get that out of your mind. But we had a contest from Buffalo Wild Wings. Our youth minister had ordered a bunch of Buffalo Wild Wings, way more than we probably ever should have or could have eaten. But we had what was called the Blazin' Wings contest, and Buffalo Wild Wings does this too. most of them still do anyway, where if you eat so many of their hottest wings in a certain amount of time, you get your picture taken and your time recorded and blah, blah, blah. But in this case, we had 1 minute in which to eat as many blazing wings as we could. And again, remind you, this is not the area of competitive eating in which I excel. So we all had a plate or several buckets of the blazing wings in front of us and proceeded to eat as many as we could. I ended up eating 13 of Buffalo Wild Wings' hottest wings. At the time, I don't know if they developed a hotter flavor than the blazing flavor, but I ate 13 of them in 1 minute. Traditional wings, mind you, not boneless. So these had the bones and all that, nonsense to contend with. So that was a trip and a half because my mouth was just absolutely on fire. I was eating butter, sour cream, drinking milk, eating bread, anything to get the pain to go away. My lips were on fire, my throat was on fire, my tongue was on fire. I had to poop like crazy afterward, and that didn't feel good either. So just let it be a lesson to you. Be prepared for the aftermath of a Blazing Wings challenge in any capacity. Okay, just prepare your mind and your body. We've also had taco eating contests in which you just had to eat as many tacos as you could in a given amount of time. That one's the easiest to put on, I'll say. Like, hey, eat as many as you can in this amount of time, because then you're limiting the amount that you have to purchase. If it's just who can eat 50 first, well, then you have to give everybody 50 tacos and see who finishes first. And then you're locked into buying a certain amount. But if you're like, eat as many tacos as you can in 2 minutes, then, you can cap it at like a couple, 100 tacos or so, because your contestants aren't going to eat more than 50 in a couple minutes. Okay? But there are also like the little mini, like the family challenges too. Like, who can eat 6 saltines first? Or who can eat 2 crackers and still whistle? I hold little mini contests with myself all the time. I think there was one out there that was like, you can't eat a banana in under a minute. That's a joke. That's a joke and a half. I can eat a banana like that. It's really easy to do, actually. 3 bites and that thing's gone. But, food challenges, and I'm good at it. In college, we had, I think it was either a 3-pound or a 5-pound hamburger eating contest. I was in class at the time, which I don't think is really fair. Well, actually, it's more fair because I would have just dominated the field. But you won a bunch of the university gear and like a certificate and some free food, because everybody wants free food after they've just finished an eating contest, right? No. But, if there's ever a food challenge or a contest that comes up and I'm available for it, unless it's pepperoni, water chestnuts, or mustard, I'm in. I've talked about those before. Pepperoni pizza specifically, not just pepperoni. I can eat slices of pepperoni all day. All day. Put it on pizza and cook it, not a fan. Sorry. But that's just kind of where my mind was at, was the competitive eating circuit. I will probably never, ever join the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, because those guys are just ridiculous, and bread is one of the hardest things to eat quickly. Plus, it makes you choke, because it gets caught like right in here. Then you feel like you can't decide if you want to throw up or swallow. It's just, it's a mess. So, oh boy. Somebody with a convertible again had to stop and pull over and put their top up. It's like, come on, folks. I'm going down the interstate anyway in a convertible. I'm always going to have the top up, because that wind is just going to drill you. Well, the rain's coming a little bit harder now, so I should probably focus on my driving. Plus, the audio's probably getting a little wonky. So, I'll see you Monday. Have a great weekend.